Hey guys, this is Jessica with the Young Mommy Podcast. Here I am blessed to be sitting next to Aaron with Sketches. That is his Instagram handle. You might already met him at the Pearl, right? That's where you usually do your sketches?
Yeah. So these days I set up there at the Pearl for maybe about like I don't know 3 Saturdays out of the month. I used to do it a lot more consistently, but I kind of got busy with like events and things like that. So sometimes like I'm not as consistent as I
Yeah,
would like to be at the Pearl. But yeah, you can find me at the Pearl like most Saturdays out of the month.
most Saturdays.
Yeah.
I know I secretly been like wanting you on the podcast. I've just been stalking you. And I realized it's so funny when I was pulling up, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not follow him on like my regular account.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm like, okay, I need to follow him because I would just go through your
Yeah.
artwork and it's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
When did
Thank
you
you so
start
much.
sketching?
Oh man, it's funny. I tell the easy answer is like when I was young. I mean, when I was a kid. Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I was so fascinated with like cartoons, video games, and artwork. I loved dinosaurs. I loved everything that a kid loves.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just drawing had always been like a sport to me. I guess
Yeah.
it's like I wasn't a super athletic kid, and so like that was kind of my outlet.
Yeah.
It was just drawing and stuff. So yeah, I just always had a fascination of creating and drawing and in that way. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess the better question would be like professionally. When did you start actually being like, oh, you know what? My sketches might be worth like actual money. Like I could
Yeah.
offer this up for people.
Well, I think my first realization of that was in high school actually, because like somebody commissioned me for a drawing of what I was already doing. I was super into comic books at the time, and I was always drawing. And so somebody wanted a drawing of Batman, and so I did it for like $20,
Wow.
and which is a lot of money, like for a teenager.
Yeah.
Like. And so that was like my first realization, like, what? This is like, I can like make money off of this. Like, I
Yeah.
always knew like it was something to be
Yeah.
made, you can do it for work, but I didn't really comprehend it until then.
Yeah.
And so I didn't jump full time into artwork until 2024, actually. So I was actually living in New York before San Antonio. I grew up here, but
I see.
I was in photography at the time. I was working with a
Mhm.
photo studio. And so drawing had always been kind of on the back of my mind that I wanted
Yeah.
to do it. I know it sounds cliche, but it was like a passion, and it was just like, I wanted to jump into it full time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I guess maybe 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a cliche because I've always known that I love talking to people. So like for you, it was art. For me, it was like, maybe not podcasting, but just like in general, of like I would love to meet as many people as I can and get their stories because I think sometimes social media is just super fast paced and like sitting down and being
Yeah.
able to like I would not be able to have this conversation with you through DMs, right?
Yeah.
Properly, because I'd be
Yeah.
like, I forgot what I was gonna ask
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
or you know,
yeah.
like oh man, maybe I seem like if I message him way too many questions, he's gonna be
Yeah.
like, this girl's interested in me. And I'm like, no, I'm married. I'm not interested. So definitely
Yeah.
I understand of like knowing exactly your passion at a young age and
Yeah.
yours was drawing. I wonder if that person got it like tattooed on themselves. Like that imagine
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
later on, they're like, I got you tatted
Yeah,
on
I
me.
know.
You're like, no.
Yeah, no, that would be insane actually. But
Yeah. What's the craziest request I guess someone has asked you? Like at the Pro, is it like multiple dogs or a whole family portrait? Like what
Ooh.
would you consider like a crazy commission?
It's hard to pinpoint it because I don't think I've had too many like crazy scenarios.
Okay.
I think it's mainly because like the instructions for having like a portrait done is pretty clear, and the
Yeah.
signage it's strictly portraits. Like
Yeah.
I'm drawing couples, I'm drawing single people, or like whatever, and dogs and stuff like that. I don't think there was any like thing that was so like out of the ordinary, but
Mhm.
I would say maybe I had to draw a group of like 20 people, I would say, at one point.
Oh my.
And I think that was probably the most extensive, I would say,
Mhm.
like in person.
Yeah.
Having to like make everybody, like each person stand for like, I don't know, I think it was a good like 40 minutes that they were standing there, which was kind of like a lot. But they wanted to do it; they were down for it, and so I took it on. So,
Wow.
but they liked it, and it was a fun time.
I could not imagine. I think I'd be way too nervous.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait, you're just gonna get like a smaller eye. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
I'd be able to do that. When you sketch, what's the first thing? Like, if let's say I ask, can you sketch me? What's the first thing you look at and you start drawing?
The chin.
The chin.
Yeah, the chin. It's, I mean, I've kind of started doing it that way.
Okay.
As opposed to just kind of like, I don't know, starting from the nose and kind of building out from there. But I usually start with the chin. I don't think it's like a very like end all be all, but I think for the
Okay.
most part, when I'm at the Pearl and I'm like, I have two people standing right in front of me, or
Yeah.
however many people, I usually start with the chin, at least the outline of the jaw, and
Uh-huh.
as they're facing me, and then I just kind of like build on that. So
Wow.
yeah, but I usually try to do it in like thirds, where
Yeah.
it's like you have this third of the body, and then this third, and then this lower third, and so I just kind of map it out that way.
Wow. I can't even imagine trying to do what you do because I used to trace. I love
nice.
tracing.
Yeah,
I was the
yeah,
type of kid who would put like a paper and then the flashlight so you could trace.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I would copy people's artwork. Like I enjoy that, but I was a child, so obviously I wasn't like selling it or anything. What would you say is like your signature thing? I guess move as an artist. You know how some artists have like a little special
Yeah.
thing, or are you not there yet?
Signature, I mean, I guess I'm constantly trying to refine my style and
Okay.
constantly trying to hone in on a certain illustration style, whether that's portraits or if I'm sketching in my sketchbook and I'm painting and, you know, that sort of thing. But sorry, can I go into this for a little bit?
No,
Okay,
100%.
yeah.
No, go.
Because
You're good.
I would say I have like two solid categorized styles of art,
Okay.
and I would say portrait sketching is kind of a different world for me as opposed to sketching in my sketchbook, where I'm like painting a scene, whether that's an urban sketch or like a landscape of some sort. I think those two worlds of art are kind of different, and so that being said, I think I have different styles in those two worlds. So like for when I draw a portrait, I don't hatch a lot of lines. I don't redraw many lines. I try to keep it in like one kind of like line in one shot kind of thing
Mhm.
as much as possible. That way it's clean. It's really, you know. Whereas like if I'm in my sketchbook and I'm doing a painted scene, you'll notice that I like do more lines. I'll like layer a little bit more. It's a little bit more expressive and kind of rough in a way. It looks kind of like what you would see like in a concept art for like a classic film. So that being said, back to your question, I think the signature thing that I like to do, at least when I'm in my sketchbook, is I usually like to like splatter like paint across, and it just kind of gives this really like nice, energetic feel to the image. And I'll keep it in the same color palette as to what it is, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of character and kind of like this messy, kind of expressive, I don't know, painted scene. But in my portraits, a lot of people recognize my portraits from the eyes. I usually, whenever I sketch people's eyes, they kind of have this very like innocent and young look to them, and it's very like, it has almost like you would see like in a graphic novel, I guess. Very expressive eyes. Like, I don't draw. I leave a lot of negative space. That way, it just kind of falls in, and it looks like there's a lot of light on the person, as opposed to tracing out the entirety of the eye, like a whole or a whole almond. I usually leave the under part of the eye blank and then like kind of leave some space. And that kind of, people always say it's cute. I don't know. I guess that's kind of like the quote, like the one thing that people like say, oh, that's Aaron's art, or that, you know.
Wow.
But,
yeah, no, that's definitely very different. And I'm glad you went into detail, because sometimes like when people are trying to tell me about like their passion, I'm like, I just don't know that. Like, but you going into detail really puts it in perspective, right? Like I'm imagining exactly what you're saying. And that I don't have a signature move yet. I feel like for me, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe my logo, which shout out to Ray. He's a local artist here in San Antonio. He did my logo, which I was really happy, because I was like, I don't want ChatGPT, which my family was like, Mija, it's okay. Just go with ChatGPT. I'm like, I don't even look like
no,
them.
props to you. Props to you. No, that's Boo AI.
Yes.
Everybody's listening. Boo AI.
Yes, no, for sure. And my family kept sending me all these images, and I was like, Mom, I've already paid this man. I'm not doing that. Like, it's an investment. And I honestly, it's like, I want to be able to be true to my roots, right? Like San Antonio, being able to give back to artists, to comedians, to anybody that like I cross paths with, right? No, so if anybody's ever asked me, oh, do you know anybody who does sketches? I'd be like, oh, actually, I do know someone.
Good on you. No, that's awesome. I have to 100% agree with you. I think like I don't think AI will ever kind of replace art. I don't think it has that capability. It's just because like, you know, you lose soul, you lose everything that like art kind of stands for, and that people the reason why people purchase art to begin with is they want to buy what a human has made, or they've crafted, put their heart and soul into, and there's suffering attached to that art in some way or another, you know, like there's like, you know, whether it's a journey that, you know, somebody has been honing in their craft for several years and they've gotten to a point where they can create this piece of art and sell it to you is, you know, that's priceless. So AI can't, you know,
no,
can't replicate that.
No, I 100% agree with you. I don't think that's definitely like just I can't imagine not knowing a backstory of like the art piece, right? Like how people write the little the story. I'm sorry, like blanking out. Is it difficult for you to gift a loved one or a family member your art, or is it something that you do consistently? Like, oh, I wanted to do this for your birthday, or are you very hard on yourself?
Yeah, I'm kind of terrible at that, actually. I should be doing it more often. But I do occasionally gift, you know, to like my friends or family, but I need to be better at that, because I wouldn't charge like my close friends, you know, for stuff, for certain stuff, you know.
Yeah.
If they're commissioning me, that's a different story. But like if I'm gonna do something out of, you know, give it to them, then
That's fair. That's fair. Let me pull up. I have certain questions that I want to ask you, and I don't want to forget, because I have this thing where I just going through this like I don't know. I just going deeper in the conversation, and I want to make justice to you for sure. Who are your top 3 like artists like that you love, like their artwork, or someone local that you would say like I'm really passionate about these artists or artwork or whichever?
Yeah, top 3.
Or you can say top 1 or 2 or like, I don't know.
No, I think I have a top 3 actually.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say they're like in order.
Okay.
And like any kind of like this one's better than this one. I think they just, these 3 have definitely influenced like my art a lot. And the first one that comes to mind is Matt Gibbons. He's on, you can find him on Instagram. It's just Matt Gibbons. I think his account is Matt Gibbons Official. I think. Okay. But anyway, you know, also an urban sketcher, painter. And his style is just, I fell in love with it when I first saw it. I mean, I saw his work online, and he was one of the the big ones that influenced me to like pursue art full time, because there's a lot of artists out there that are doing it full time, way more than I ever thought, like when I first started. And his style, his approach, and just even him as an artist, like his like whole persona and his vibe is just like, I love it so much. It reminds me a lot of kind of what I was telling you earlier, like concept art from like a vintage film. And yeah, a lot of classic films have influenced me just like in general in the past. And so I associate those two, I don't know, very passionately, I guess. But anyway, yeah, his stuff is really charismatic. It's very expressive. His use of color and his the way he warps certain things too. Like it's not super like perfect, or like he adds a little charm and character. Like adds almost like a cartoon kind of flair to, but not to where it looks, I don't know, cheesy or anything. Yeah, Matt Gibbons, he's a big one for sure. Next, I would say Zach, the artist Zach. His name is Zach Crawford. You can find him on Instagram. He is like who influenced me to actually do portraits at the Pearl, because he does almost exactly, or like I should say I do almost exactly what he does, because he's the one who inspired me. He's located in New York City, and he sketched at Washington Square Park for many years, and people know him as, the artist Zach. He's there at Washington Square Park, and he does portraits for people on a donation basis. And his style, I think I was greatly influenced by. And so like his approach for like drawing a person, his line art, he uses like a fine point pen to like do the outline, and then of course he uses like a diluted ink to kind of do the shading and stuff. And so yeah, his style like I fell in love with, and I wanted to do the same for people here in San Antonio. So yeah, he would be one of my next like most cherished artists for sure. And I had the privilege to work with him too on an illustration project, which was a lot of fun too. So
Wow.
So Zach Crawford, yeah, I mean, he's great. He's awesome. Cool guy.
Yeah. Would you say that's like the proudest moment you've had, like working with him? Would be like as an artist? Would you say that be?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big one. Because especially when you're starting out, like I did a couple years ago, you just feel so small, in comparison to all like what you see on social media, online, on different platforms. And he had a great following, of course, and I just kind of felt like at the time, like, man, this guy's amazing. Like I want to be like him. I want to do the stuff that he's doing. And I also want to be a full-time artist. And so yeah, I mean, when I was able to work with him, I just felt really honored, and just I felt like, wow, like he saw something in my art, like that made him want me to help him out with an illustration pilot project that he was doing with Marc Jacobs. And so yeah, it was a really special thing for sure.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you when you were saying the top 3.
Oh yeah.
I'm terrible.
No, you're good.
Like,
you're good.
It was just one of those things. I'm like, I bet he's really like, this is a person that you feel very special about, like working with, because obviously, if like people have those moments of like, pinch me, like I'm not supposed to be here, kind of like. I can't believe they saw something in me that are willing to say yes. And I think it's a lot of our like self-doubt, because I have moments like that where I ask people to be on the podcast, huge following, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna say no. And then like, no, they reach back out. They're like, yeah, of course, let's do it. I'm like, me?
Yeah.
Why me?
Definitely.
So, definitely. I feel you with that.
Yeah.
But you're great at what you do. You should really give yourself props and look at how much you've done. I take moments like that. So if I could give you a piece of advice, it would be like, you deserve to be an artist. You are an artist. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you so much. Yeah, no, those affirmations, especially if you're, you know, a business owner or if you're just like kind of pursuing your passions, I think are really important because, I mean, it's kind of what motivates you, I think.
Yeah. I mean, people usually do the safe route, right? Like the safe of like going to college, getting a job, or just after high school getting a job, and it's like taking that risk of being able to be yourself, and it's just, it takes a lot of work, and you posting takes a lot of work, so definitely it's like, it's crazy, for sure. And I'm very happy that you have that moment with Crawford, for sure, and that you're able to be like, I worked with him for this project. It was amazing. Like, that's definitely awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Is there another moment in your life that you're like, oh, this was definitely like top 3 moments of my life? It doesn't have to be artwork. It could be anything, you know, that you're like, this inspired me so much.
Yeah, I would say I took it upon myself last year. I went on an adventure where I went to Spain for like 2.5 months.
Wow.
And I dedicated it to just sketching, you know, and doing a bit of travel sketching. And I think I did a certain challenge where I was in the south of Spain and I wanted to go to Morocco for a few days, as one does because it's so close. It's like it's only an hour if you take the ferry from the port of Cadiz to Morocco, so it's super quick. And so I had recently bought like a traveler's notebook. It's the company Travelers. They make like a really awesome journaling system with like a leather bound kind of cover with like, you know, sketchbook insert and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh.
Anyway, so I had recently bought one in Spain, and one of the books had like, I think 65 pages, and I was going to be in Morocco for 4 days. And so I took it upon myself to like sketch something and fill up the entire 65 pages in 4 days. And that trip was just, it was insane. It was just like, it was so much going on. And that 4 days, I think, really inspired me. I think was like very pivotal in like urban sketching and sketching from life and travel sketching and documenting a special trip like that, I think was really inspiring. So that was, I think, one of the biggest highlights of, I guess, my career as an artist.
Yeah, it's always such a luxury to be able to get out of little San Antonio and getting to just getting a little taste of just somewhere else is.
Hey, San Antonio's getting there. It's growing.
Yeah, it is. It's, I mean, with all the construction we have, I hope it's growing.
Yeah.
It's been such a long time.
Yeah.
Like I can't wrap my head around that. Like my mom is like, this ramp, they're still building it, and I was this age, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It throws me off sometimes, but that's crazy. For sure.
Yeah.
Are you passionate with anything else? Like, would you say like photography, or is that like sketching is just your?
No, yeah. I have too many, unfortunately, too many passions.
Are you the type of person that takes like multiple hobbies at once?
To my own demise, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, photography. You know, when I was a teenager, I had a huge passion for photography. I was in journalism in school and, you know, was super into that. And then as I got older, I wanted to take on photography jobs and like do like freelance work and stuff. Yeah. And so, you know, I got myself camera equipment and of course I was in a photo studio in New York. And so that, you know, doing grip work. So photography, yes. You know, I love the craft of photography. I love shooting, especially on film. Just the whole process, I think, is so fascinating. But I would say photography is a big one. But I would say next to drawing, my biggest passion is music.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, drums. Been playing drums since I was also a teenager. My dad is a drummer, and so he would play gigs growing up. He would play at Rosario's downtown. Like growing up, he was always playing at Rosario's or local places and stuff.
Yeah.
So grew up around his music and um, big jazz lover. Like jazz is my favorite music. So yeah, I love music, all sorts of music, but jazz is probably like
Wow.
my top. It's what I listen to when I'm like drawing.
Yeah.
That or like soundtrack scores or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's like.
I see. Have you
Yeah.
ever been to there's like this jazz, it's by the Pearl, like the underground
Oh yeah,
jazz.
Jazz Texas. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Love
but-
that place.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gone twice. First time, loved it. Second time, I was a little angry at my husband. He fell asleep. It was a long day
Really?
from he's a plumber, so
Yeah.
obviously
yeah.
it's like a lot of work.
No,
But
that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
wake up.
Yeah.
I was like, don't fall asleep.
No, yeah, totally understandable. It's also not for everybody. Like,
Yes.
I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you don't know music, you're not into jazz. Like, no, like, yeah, I wouldn't play it like unapologetically or like in front of people.
Yeah,
It's just
you're like-
it's something that I love, and
Yeah.
I don't expect others to
That's good though, because there's some people that don't know how to like
adapt. Yeah.
Yes. And then like they share the view, they're like, listen to this song, it's so good. You're like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
So that's good because you have more of like to explore, right? I
Yeah.
feel like people who are not just like in love with just one thing are able to see more and do more things and listen to more music. And
Yeah.
one of my close friends, she just shared her Spotify playlist, and I think it's just such. I know this sounds really dumb, but I think it's such a romantic thing to be able to be in someone's like world and being like, "What are you listening
Yeah.
to right now?" and like adding songs and stuff. So for sure,
Yeah.
I
I know
do
it's
appreciate-
kind of a very personal thing. I don't know.
Yes.
Like I turned off my on Spotify, like I guess on the desktop mode, you could see like what your friends are listening to.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want other people to.
Yeah, it's very private. It's like there's
Yeah.
some good days and there's some bad days
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm listening to something that I don't think anybody else in this planet would understand why I'm listening to
Yeah.
it. Like,
There is a song.
repeatedly,
Yes. Oh, I do that too. There's a song at Apple. It has a radio station, but it was from another country.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't even know the words, but it's like a banjo and stuff. It was just so unique, and I was just replaying that song over and over
Yeah.
again. And if you would have just like looked at it and be like, why is
Yeah.
this girl like
Yeah,
listening to
yeah.
this song? Like it's like I don't know, but for me, I was like, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's just like so.
no, there's
different.
something that hits you, right?
Yeah.
Emotionally, the chord changes or the melody or even the sound of the instruments. Yeah, it's like it affects you. It's like
Yeah, it's different.
uh,
It's different for sure. Is there a song in particular that you remember of like your teens? Like for me, I'm trying to think. Hit the Quan. That was like a really popular song.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I remember as a teenager, I grabbed a boombox that my mom like bought or yes, it was that one. And I would
That's
just
a
carry the
throwback. I
box.
forgot
Yes,
about
it
that.
is. But
Yeah.
that's like what I think about.
Yeah.
Teenage years, I think about that song. Is there a certain song that you think about that makes you think about your teenage years?
Yeah, No Way Down by the Shins. I know that that's probably kind of like a deep cut, but yeah, that song was like that, and then also like Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day.
Okay. The Shins, do
Those-
they have a Blue album cover?
Yes. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. I'm like, I think I know which artist you're talking. I'm just terrible at like names.
Yeah.
And-
No, the Shins, definitely. That was like, wired Apple earbuds walking
Yes.
through the hallway. It's like 7 a.m. Just hate life.
Yeah. For sure. If there's someone watching here that wants to start sketching, right? They see your work. They're like, I really want to do what he's doing. What would you tell them? Like if you could, like, do this.
Do it. Just do it.
You don't need the fancy art supplies.
No,
you can do
literally, yeah. I mean, you just think about how art was created like thousands of years ago. It's just simple materials. But I would say instead of focusing so much on your ability to draw, like with your hand, focus on the ability to see, as opposed to drawing, because I think that's where there's more importance. So it's more about observing, seeing where lines interact, um, and seeing how perspective works, how small something is in relation to how big something is, and directional lines, and learning to see the lines is way more important than,
Yeah.
I guess, whatever your ability to draw is, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, it's interesting because, elementary school age, all kids love drawing. Most kids
Yes.
love drawing, or I think it's one of the first things that a human does is like
Yeah.
write, like in terms of,
Yeah.
and so, but somewhere around like middle school, or like, yeah, around middle school is
Mhm.
when they decide what's good and what's not good.
Yes.
And then by high school, it's like, oh, I can't draw. Like I can't draw.
I'm
like
terrible.
they've decided that they cannot draw,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I can't draw a stick figure. I can't do this. I can't do that. But it's really sad because they can.
Yeah.
Anybody can, and I think it's just a matter of observation and paying close attention to lines.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to get started in urban sketching or drawing or art in general, I think that's a really good principle to
Yeah.
start with.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, practicing makes perfect. I know that sounds like cliche, but like
Yeah.
if you listen to my first episode and then listen to this episode, it's
Mhm.
completely different.
Yeah.
I'm not the same person I am from like that episode. And I think it's like definitely easier and more comfortable
Yeah.
because you could hear the shakiness of my voice. And then like meeting, I would like stutter.
Yeah.
I would ask people like, why did you say yes? Like I would ask people in person, like, why say yes? And they're like, oh, it's because you were stuttering. Which I'm like, that's such a crazy thing. They're like, no, it mean like I noticed that it meant a lot for me to be on
Yeah.
your podcast. So I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Mhm.
thank you. I'm like, maybe I should keep my stutter. Maybe I should be a little bit more nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah. May I ask how old you are?
How old do I look?
Oh, you look, you see, like, at first I was like, maybe he's like 23,
Mhm.
right? But then when you said you went to New York, you've gone to Spain,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh no, he's probably 29.
25. Split the difference. Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've done so much. I say this in the nicest way. You've done so much at 25. That's like, for me, I
Oh,
thought
thank you.
like it just, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, maybe 29 or 30.
Yeah.
But for sure, that's amazing. You have so much to look forward to. I'm 27. Yes, 27. I
Oh,
just turned
nice.
27. But it's, I wish I could go back to 25 and be like, you got this. Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep
Like,
doing it.
don't stop.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times, like, we're so quick to quit.
Yeah.
But then there's a constant reminder of like, oh, I don't want to do what
Yeah.
they're doing. I don't want to be doing. And an ideal life, what would you want to be doing? And where are you located at? Like, tell me, what's your dream, right? If I could like transport you to that location, what would it be?
Oh man. I guess I think it's pretty simple. I mean, I don't really want to be like famous or anything. you know?
Okay.
Like I don't want to be like a world famous artist. I mean,
Uh-huh.
at least it's not like my number one goal. I think if anything, just to make it to a point where I can take care of everybody in my family is the
Yes.
idea. I think that's kind of what most people want,
Mhm.
just to be able to take care of everybody, of those that they love.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm working towards that, and just being able to get to a point where also I can create for myself. I think those two things would be ideal.
Yeah.
is creating for myself, and everything else just kind of like doing its thing.
Yeah.
When I can just kind of paint or sketch or draw or feed my soul,
Yes.
which I think, I'm not saying I don't when I like take commissions or draw for other people or whatever it may be. but obviously any work that you do is in service of other people.
Yes.
So and that goes for every job. Like, I don't think that's work. That's what it is.
Yes.
So but that would be cool to have at least a little bit more time to create the things that I love.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's a good answer. That's yeah, no. Same. If I could attach myself to your obviously with my own family.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good way to put it, right? But okay, I say same, but then at the same time I'm like, I would like to be known a little bit.
Mhm.
Not
No, yeah, of
crazy,
course,
like a
yeah.
crazy amount. But just being like San Antonio, the young mommy. Like that's it. Like that's it. I just want people to stop by.
Recognized.
Yes.
Yeah. You build a community, and I feel like I've gotten a little taste of that. I don't have like millions of followers, but I do get a sense of recognition, which feels nice. And I
Yeah.
think everybody wants that.
Mhm.
People like the other day I went to Chipotle actually, and it was just like the guy at the register was like, "Oh, like, do you draw people at the Pearl?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's me."
Yeah.
Or it's like people know me as the guy at the Pearl, and I guess that's kind of cool. So.
Yeah, it's nice. You know what I've noticed is that the people who have the more, like the most following, I don't get like the best interviews with them. And no offense, I love all of you guys. I love every single one of y'all, but it's very hard. And sometimes like I caught myself in the conversation where you're like, can you give me a second? And because sometimes like people just don't respond. Like they don't take the time to explain, right? And like most of the time I'm like having to think really quickly and like having to add.
Yeah.
Because if not, it'd be like silence. I'd be like,
No,
okay,
yeah,
like
Yeah,
so like
for sure.
I'm really glad you were able to like, hey, give me a moment. Like, okay, you're right. Yes, I'm so sorry. Like it definitely like it just it brought like it slowed me down. And I think sometimes like everybody needs that for
Yeah,
sure.
no, for sure.
Please tell the camera how to like contact you if they want commission work. Plug yourself in. Do your thing.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, most people email me through my website. It's Aaron-Zavala, AARON-ZAVALA.com. And under contacts, there's a submission form that you can fill out. You fill out your information and then a brief message of what you're looking for. If that's a painting, a private commission of some sort, or event inquiries. So if you have like a wedding, or if you have a corporate event, or any event really, that would like a kind of like a luxury activation where people come and get sketched live, which has proven to be like such a fun and awesome engagement for guests at any kind of event. You can fill it out through that contact form, and I will respond to you as quick as possible. I don't leave inquiries kind of hanging around for more than a day. So so that's the best way to find me. Also through Instagram, of course, DM outreach, and my phone number is attached to there as well.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Last thing I'm going to say is please, guys, if you have not followed yet, I'm partnered up with Hope at Heart Foundation. They help families who they have children that are struggling with cancer. They help them financially. So if you have any extra money, or if you just can follow them, that would be great. Hope at Heart. .org. So please follow. Please donate. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Thank you.